Are we on? Are we on? Welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I am your host, Glenn Pooh Harding. And oh boy, we have a very, very, very special guest. This basketball head is the head coach of the legendary St. Raymond's High School JV team and an assistant on a varsity level. He's the director of player development, camp and clinics, activation director. He is also the founder of the C-Wll Development Autism Awareness All-Star Classic. So I think that's kind of separate. C-Wll Development and then the Autism Awareness All-Star Classic, because he got so many hats that he wears. The fourth review, Hoop Breakfast Club workout with C-Wll, and he is the brains behind one of the top preseason showcases in New York City, Test the Waters Invitational. So, without further ado, help me welcome to the show my brother, Chris C-Wll Williams.
Y'all ready?
Y'all ready?
Yes. You have just stepped out into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
What's happening? What's happening, my brother? How you doing?
Yo, what's good? What's going on? How you doing?
Man, I'm blessed and highly favored, man. Can't complain.
Yeah,
I know.
times two.
There you go. We had to run a little late, but better late than never. And look, brother, trying to get you on for the longest, man. Glad we can do it today. So this is like part one of part two. So just in case y'all guys don't know, all my people on Instagram, come over to YouTube. Hit that link in my bio, and it'll take you straight to YouTube, right to the show. All right? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Yo, no, thank you, man. Thank you. That was a heck of an intro right there, man. I was big time, man. I appreciate it.
No doubt. Look, you're a brother that wears so many hats. And one thing I forgot to add was, you're also the coach of the championship winning program, right? The summer league team as well.
Yeah,
so we're gonna dive into that.
Yeah,
we're gonna dive into that as well, man. But what you have going on now, and what I was able to see on Saturday was amazing. You couldn't believe it was my first time up at St. Raymond's, and I was in awe of the magnificent facilities that you guys have. Like,
I appreciate that.
Definitely one of the best in the whole city. And you already know I'm in these streets, and I've been to a lot of gyms.
Yeah, the Raven place.
This is a facility. This is not even a gym. We talking about a real facility. You know what I mean? So salute to St. Ray's and everybody who put that whole thing together, man.
No, I'm glad you came through, man. I couldn't believe that was your first time there, though. That was crazy.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you coming by, man, checking out the atmosphere and the games.
Yeah, and I think it's motivation for other schools to come and see the facility so they can understand what a rich tradition is all about, so they can understand what celebrating that brotherhood, right? Because it's a school for boys. So it's the brotherhood that's celebrated there, and the amount of people that play, like we was talking about, my guy Mike Thompson, Terrence Rencher, and even going way back to my era with Gary Massey, who started the whole thing.
Yeah, we went back. We went back. It's some history there, man. There's some serious history there, man. I'm blessed, man. Every time I walk through those doors, you know, I'm humble, man. Just to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why
Yeah.
I go hard, man. Like that's a special place, man. You just don't give 50, 70, 80% at that place. You got to go 110, man.
And that brings us to the intro of my show, which was done by yours truly
I
such
heard
a
that.
long time ago.
I heard that.
It's go hard or go home. Like we from
That's
New York
it.
City. There's no other way.
Nah, there's no other way, man. You got to go hard, man. You have to. Like, there's no, social media makes it look like you don't have to go as hard. But yo, when it really gets to the nitty gritty, you got to go hard, man.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Or take your ass home.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just what it is. Yeah.
Exactly.
So the main reason why we up here, right, is to talk about the Tested Waters Invitational.
Yeah.
But the question I always asks everyone who comes on the show, who introduced you to the game, my brother?
Wow. That's crazy, man. Like the game was in the crib. So it's like everybody from, my dad, my uncles, my grandfather, like the game was always around. But I would really have to say like, shoot, probably my dad, man. My pops taking me outside, on the weekends and we just hooping, going at it. A lot of my friends, especially my friends from the east side, they know I'll be outside with my pops 8, 9 in the morning playing some serious one-on-ones, man. For real.
That's real.
Yeah.
Salute to dad, man. You such an image of
yeah.
him, man. So salute to dad, man.
Yeah, nah, shout out Reverend Jimmy Williams. That's my guy.
Right.
That's my guy.
Right. So you talk about the east side. Tell the people like where in particular on the east side you from.
Well, I'm from Taft Houses on 115th and Madison. My mom's moved from Mitchell, which is in the Bronx, Dedrick Irvin, Kyrie Irvin.
That's right.
The whole crew, Strickland's. We moved from Mitchell to Washington Houses on 100th Street and 3rd Avenue, 103rd and 3rd Avenue, like in 93. So really the whole entire East Harlem, man, like that's all hometown for me.
Stomping ground.
Yeah.
For sure. How long have you been coaching, Chris?
I've been coaching for about, it's going to sound crazy right now, but I'm near 18 years, man. It's crazy.
So listen, you see I got Coach Smoke behind me, right?
I see that.
I'm not going to sit up here and say I'm an old head, but you guys are much younger than me. And for the fact that you guys been coaching, he's been coaching 20 years and you going on 18 years.
Yeah.
Is amazing. And the way that y'all still connect with the kids and the kids are still connected with you guys. And I see it, I saw it up close and personal. And just to see it again yesterday, how close the guys are to you,
Yeah, that's important, man. That's important. But people like me and Smoke, we grew up in the New York City ranks like together. You know what I'm saying? Not in the same program, but when I was in my 20s coaching, Smoke was in New York in his 20s coaching. And, we're fortunate and blessed that now, as we approaching and entering our early 40s, like to still be impacting the game and coaching these young guys and, staying close to the game and to the kids. That's the most important thing, man. Just staying close and connected to the youth.
Nah, that's definitely official, man. That's real. Because a lot of guys can't say that. It's not, some guys, do it for a check. Some guys do it for the fame, right? And what comes with being a New York City coach. But those who really connect with the kids and turn out really good players, it really shows.
No, it does, man. It does. That's, I look at people like me, Smoke, yourself. Our calling is to work with the youth.
Right.
Basketball is just our tool. A lot of people don't know if we wasn't doing this podcast or doing basketball, we would still be impacting the kids that's in our community and on a day-to-day basis. So that's just who we are. We're just fortunate to have a great time doing it through basketball.
Yeah, man. Let me not forget the huge Dyckman Championship game you guys pulled off in 2018, if I'm correct, with a team made up of mostly underclassmen and with only one senior. And you know, that one senior was tragically killed not too long ago. Tell me how the world is going to miss Darius Lee. Who got MVP of that game, actually, right?
Who got MVP of that game? And a lot of people don't know you was a huge Darius Lee fan that whole summer because you was there. Like, you know what I mean? You actually saw that group in their maturation process throughout the summer.
Yeah.
And, you know, D. Lee, that was huge for him because right after that, you know, he left, went to Sullivan, made all league up there, you know, did well for 2 years, and then, you know, was fortunate to get a scholarship to Houston Baptist. And life's tragedy sometimes, you know, hits you dead at your doorstep. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened this past Father's Day with D. Lee. But he's definitely going to be missed, man. And, you know, since he's been gone, and I haven't really told this to many people, it's been an added motivation to make sure, like, these kids are good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially the ones we're with every single day. You know what I mean? It's an added motivation to just make sure, like, yo, go as hard as you can. Like the intro, right? Go hard every single day because you never know when this joint is going to be over. And, you know, I feel like that's a big thing that, you know, you mentioned the brotherhood earlier. D. Lee was a big part of that brotherhood. You know, when he came home from college this summer, right before, like, everything happened, you know, he was up there feeding and giving back, you know, his information and sharing his experiences with the young guys that's in the program. You know, so that stuff is big time, man. Like, you know, he's gonna be missed. He's missed every single day. Every time we walk in that gym, we like, damn, D. Lee. But we will be honoring him and retiring his jersey. I believe it's December 9th at St. Ray's. So I want you to make sure you come up there.
Yeah, I'm in the building.
We're gonna do a nice situation for him, nice ceremony for him.
That's dope, man. So this is why the Test the Waters Invitational is so important, right? Because it's preseason. Not a lot is going on. There's some things going on, and it's a lot of people doing things around the city, but just you in particular, being the brainchilds behind the Test the Waters Invitational. You know, this is a down period where kids can't get in trouble. This is a period when, you know, kids can stray away. But with the Test the Waters Invitational, they're provided with games and a safe atmosphere and just a fun camaraderie with other players to play against each other. And not to mention something that's been mentioned in a long time, and that's have Catholic schools and public schools in one facility playing against each other.
No, that's true. That's true. And you hit that on the head. It's funny because there is a lot going on. Like, this is the most active I've ever seen any preseason. But it's twofold, right? One, you could be like, oh man, everybody's trying to do a tournament, this, that, and the third. But then the other fold of it is an opportunity for a lot of these kids to be active and to have something going on. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's a good problem to have, you know. But when you talk about Test the Waters, you know, just having an opportunity to bring non-CHSA affiliated schools and programs into our facility and give them an opportunity to play and showcase their talents and their skills, and, you know, like you said, against teams that they wouldn't normally see. That's something we take a lot of pride in with Test the Waters, a lot of pride. And that's why it's called, you know, Test the Waters. You know, we started, and it's funny, we started it in Dallas, Texas. It used to be the first AAU event with my Dallas Mustangs crew, Tony Johnson, my whole crew in Texas. It was called Test the Waters. So before everybody hit their shoe circuit or before guys really knew what they had, we say, yo, all right, come on, let's play this weekend. It was like the first weekend in March, second weekend in March. Let's test the waters and see where we at. You know, and it had huge success in Dallas. I believe Tony's bringing it back this year too, but huge success. And that's what we was able to do and capture in New York the last 3-4 years.
Yeah. Look, I told you I had to come to your spot first. I was invited a few places, but I had to make sure, you know, this is my brother. We've been knowing each other for a lot of years, man, and I had to go support. And the simple fact that I've never been up to St. Ray's, it was just extra motivation, you know. And once I walked to the building, you know, I was just taken away, man. I was just taken away. And look, the team that you had playing, like the games were all competitive games.
Yeah.
You know, when we talk about starting off with it was McClancy, right? That was the first game.
First game,
right? Against the FLH Panthers.
Yep. McClancy versus Fannie Lou.
Fannie Lou, right?
Yep.
I got there during the second game. Let's talk about that first game and who won and if you can remember the impact players of that game.
Yeah, no, definitely. That first game was a real good one, and you talk about again opportunities for programs, right? McClancy is on an upward trend right now.
Yes.
Fannie Lou has been a staple and I believe the PSALB for some time. And when you're at that crossroads of your program, you need real good quality games. And I feel like that first game, man, it really set the tone. You know, McClancy jumped out on Fannie Lou early. So, you know, it was always a catch-up game for Fannie Lou, but they have a junior or a sophomore, this kid, Marcus Maxwell Grimes. He had 28 that first game, and I mean, he was really good, man. Like, he's really good, really good. It's funny, he's actually from East Harlem. I didn't even know that. He's an East Side guy, 112th and Lexington Avenue.
Let me just jump in on this, brother. That kid can ball.
Kid is nice.
That kid. And if you guys, I put up a clip of some of the games yesterday, but I'm going to put up the full game on YouTube. You guys get a chance to see him in action. This guy can flat out ball. He could shoot that thing. He could put it on the floor. He could pass it. And I think he's only going to be, what? He's only a sophomore or junior?
He's only a sophomore. So
oh, my God. We are looking very good, New York City. Trust me.
That's great, man. And then, you know, they have Coach Artie Cox, legendary over there. They got my man, Coach Anthony Sticks, who's the head coach. And those guys, you can watch a team now and tell who's been playing with each other throughout the course of the summer. You can tell who's been getting reps, who's been in the gym, and you can tell like McClancy has been playing together. They've been working, and that stuff shows, you know, and that's what the preseason is really for, to see if that off-season work was really preparing you for the season.
Yeah.
You know, and McClancy, like, they were good. Like, now Fannie Lou, they weren't bad. You know, they started off slow. A little sluggish, but you know they got going late. But you know, when McClancy's shooting the ball like they did in that first game, it's hard. It's going to be hard to beat them. It's going to be hard for a lot of teams to beat them if they shoot the ball the way they did that first game.
Yeah, salute to legendary Artie Cox. Ran into LeVar Folk, another legendary player from McClancy, Boston University Hall of Famer. All right, let's just say that right off the bat. And he told me Artie was coming back, and he had confidence that his school was going to do some damage. Now, folks, let me tell you something. When you see McClancy in the layup line, you're going to look at them like, oh, we got one. Trust me, I'm telling you what you're going to do. I'm telling y'all what you're going to do. You're going to look at McClancy, and you're going to say, oh, we got one, because they don't look, right? They don't pass the eye test. But once they start get going, and they start moving that ball around, running those picks, hitting those shots, and running that fast break.
What you're going to do? You're going to look at me.
Yep.
You're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
Facts.
You're in trouble. You're in big trouble.
Yes.
You're in big trouble.
So salute. So and then we had LaSalle versus St. Joe's, correct?
Yep, from Jersey. And LaSalle was actually good too, man. Like the A division this year is going to be really good. CHSA A division is going to be really good. Like it's gonna be really good, really competitive. Some great coaching. I believe LaSalle may have came up a little short,
Yes,
but
yes, yes.
for a program that lost, I believe, like 3 or 4 transfers, like 3 or 4 of their better players,
Right.
they were really impressive. And that's a testament to, Coach Casey, Coach Jerome, their whole staff over there, my man, Coach Jarrett. They're doing a real good job of trying to reinstate like a strong basketball culture, and that takes some time, and that you're gonna have some casualties with that, But I think as long as you go out there and you somewhat look how you're supposed to look this time of year, I think it's a win. I think it's a win for them.
Yeah, yeah. When I came in, Coach Casey was giving his team a little motivational speech.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a friend of the show, and they responded.
They
You
did.
could tell that the kids are very disciplined and they listen to their coach. And he just needed to light a little fire under them for them to get back to their competitive spirit. Now we know that LaSalle has a rich tradition in ball players that came from that school.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Lincoln is tied with them as far as putting the most pros into the NBA.
Wow.
LaSalle and Lincoln are tied, I think, with 7 and 8. Yeah,
That's a great stat. That's a great stat right there.
Right, so they're
serious
getting back to their winning ways. Look,
yeah.
We was on top at one time, and now we are rebuilding Lincoln.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So things are like that in the city, man, when you have such competitive basketball programs.
Yeah.
Yeah, salute to St. Joe's as well.
Yeah, no, they were good too. St. Joe's, they were really good. And Coach Wade that brought him out, he has some really good young guys as well. Like one thing I will say is there's some serious young talent in the New York tri-state area, like freshmen, sophomores. There's some players. There's some kids that have a bright future, and they're scattered all over the place. So, ain't no telling who's going to really be that guy in 2 years.
Facts.
We can make assumptions and we could, state arguments, but there's no clear cut person that's just all the way above everybody else.
Not at all. Not at all. Shameless plug right here. My little cousin, starting point guard for Thomas Jefferson High School, only a sophomore, Tristan Man Davis. They're not in the Invitational, but that's my cousin. He's only
They were in
it
too. They got out late, but Bud hit me up, and they were definitely in it. And they were slated to play us too.
Okay.
Yeah, they were definitely in it. Much love to those guys.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite games, though, man. Play Jeff. That's like one of my favorite games for parochial Catholic school. Like that's like you don't really get that in your league. You know what I mean? You don't get games like that that really test your heart.
No, that's
you know what
real.
I'm saying? Like
that's
for real. You need that. You get some real good basketball games, but with Jeff, they're gonna test your heart and they're gonna play some good basketball. So
94 feet. Yep. Poppy and Connor. All right, that three-headed monster is something to deal with, man. But definitely back to the Invitational, because the next game was two teams who played 2 games that day, right? McClancy played the first game, then they had to face you guys in the third game.
Yep.
And that was the game that I taped the whole full game. So it will be up on YouTube in the next couple of days, because I have some shows coming up in the next couple of days. Maybe about Tuesday or Wednesday, it'll be up on YouTube. So make sure you check that game out, because, it's a lot of good players. And let's start off with the Ravens. All right?
Wow. Yeah, no, we could definitely do that. Saturday was a great opportunity for us to give some of our young guys and some of our guys who are trying to make a case to, be a part of varsity. It was a great opportunity to give them a chance to play against 2 of the best coaches in New York City. And Artie Cox in game 1 with McClancy, and then Kenny Preflo in game 2 with Brooklyn Law and Tech. And I was really proud of the way our guys played and responded and, dealt with adversity. We was losing both games. you know. And it's funny, we talk about young players, like we have a really good freshman class coming in. Well, that's in right now at St. Ray's, and you know, best player on that floor was a kid by the name of Najee Best, 6'3" wing guard. He had 20 the first game, 15 the second, and I think he showed, you know, his full arsenal. And I was somewhat shocked, you know, not in a negative way, but I was like shocked but proud to see that, you know, our team was able to compete against two really good programs, missing pretty much the majority of our varsity roster, you know. So that was a big statement internally for us to see, you know what, our program is in a real good space, real good position, you know.
Listen, that kid Najee, something special, y'all. When I tell you this kid is something special, could do it all, you know. And the thing that I was just so amazed at, as in the beginning of the game, you hear Coach C-Wll yelling from the bench, you know, be aggressive, be aggressive. And sometimes it takes a kid a minute to get the message and then to process it, then go, right? So for ball players, let me explain something to y'all. When we get in directions from the coach, right, we got to process it and then we got to put it to motion. Some of us good ones know how to do that all at once. Okay? So when you see a freshman doing that, you can tell he's special. And I told Chris this. I said, man, that you have one. If this kid can stay focused, control his body language when he's on the court, when things ain't going his way, he's going to be one of the best players in the city. When it's all said and done, one of the best players in the state, because he has it already. And he's unselfish.
Very unselfish. And the thing that I love about our young guys, they're all green. So you hear me screaming at him, be aggressive. He doesn't really know how good he really is, which is a great problem to have.
Right.
Because some of these jokers, they be walking around, they'll have that swagger, but they're not nowhere near as good, you know? So I think with him, you hit it on the head, like, yes, maturing, you know, he's a 14-year-old freshman, like growing up, understanding the game and how it's played. And that's why, and you know me to do this for years. That's why I play young guys up. Like, I don't care about no trophy. I don't care about when, okay, you beat me. Okay, congratulations. I got this kid better. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, that's my philosophy. Now, you beating up on me and I got a whole bunch of 19, 20-year-old juniors and seniors, it might be time for me to sit down. You know what I'm saying? But when, you know, you got kids like that, like, yo, I'm not playing him down. But I need him to play 14 for 15 No, we're going to play up so that way you continue to raise your level of play. So if you don't go hard playing up, guess what? You got to go home or go to your level.
That's right. Salute to Najee, man. Keep working, man. And
but Brooklyn Law and Tech had that kid Amir LeBron. He was nice. I like him.
Let's
Coach
talk
Kenny
about
P. Stay with something, man.
Let's talk about him, man. Let's talk about him. Now is that the shooter?
That's the shooter.
Yes.
That's the shooter.
I know his dad.
Yeah, no, he's really good, man. He's really good. He has a chance to be really good. He's in a great space with Coach Kenny P because he's gonna get Coach held accountable.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And the one thing that I learned from watching guys like Kenny P and Artie Cox, because you know, I'm somebody that I study my elders, like for real. Like, you know what I mean? Especially my successful elders. They know how to play guys to their strengths. And you look at any player that Coach Kenny or that Artie has had that really buys into what they're doing, they always supersede their expectations. You know what I mean? Even to a Larry Moreno or this kid right here, this Amir LeBron kid, I won't be surprised in 2 years he's a Division I athlete. I won't be surprised at all. Like at all.
He could shoot that thing, man. He could shoot that thing. And Kenny P is He's a stickler for defense. You don't play defense, you can't play with Kenny P. That's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So salute Kenny P and Brooklyn Lawn Ted Jets, man. Definitely. And salute to their girls team as well. They won the city championship last year, so salute to them.
Yeah, my man Mike Lloyd do a good job. Do a good job with them. Do a great job with the ladies.
Yeah, they're going after this. Well, I'm not gonna put out their business, but they got one from Brevard, another kid from Brevard.
Oh,
so
okay. Brevard is on fire though.
Yeah, she's only in 8th grade, so yeah, that's gonna be good, man. So that last game, right?
Mm-hmm. Goodie.
All right. Now I wasn't able to see the Brooklyn Lawn Tech game because I had to head over to the Gaucho gym. Salute to Coach Book. He'll be on the show soon. But when I came back, I went to a dog fight. Like if you ever seen a boxing match when dudes is going at it and there's a combo, there's another combo, another right. These dudes just punching each other in the face the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We talked about Holy Cross and Forest Hills, right?
Yep.
2 Queens powerhouses, man. Let's talk about that, Chris Wills, and how you think that game went. Am I accurate?
No, you're 100% on point. That was a great nightcap. And that was that was like what Test the Waters is about, right? So you look at it and you got a Forest Hills team who's getting back to where they were, back again on the upward trend. You have Holy Cross that was a Final Four team last year. You look at them, they didn't win a league game. They were 0-16 in the league last year and made it to the semis.
Right.
So that tells me something, you know what I mean? Especially about coaching and the kids just trusting the process and buying in.
Yeah.
But then you look at, they have an opportunity to play in a St. Ray's, which creates this different element, this different vibe. And now, like you said, I was like one of the best preseason games I watched, like all preseason, like all September, October.
Did you know though? Hold on? I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you know it was going to be like that? Like that was the perfect scheduling. Like if I'm on the outside looking in and I'm looking at the way you put together the Invitational and how the games went, it just kept building all the way up. Like some games is like, a dead game here, a live game here, a dead game here. No, it kept building and it kept growing. Did you know that from the offset when you was putting the schedule together?
You know what? To sound good and to sound like I'm this great person, I could say yeah, right? But my whole thought process was I just wanted to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I have these teams that's committed to be a part of this event. I just want the games to make sense. If it's not going to make sense, there's no point in doing it. Just to say, yo, we did an event. So my hope was the lineups would lead up into a game like that, which, like you said, was a great nightcap. And I felt like, those teams going into it, I'm like, damn, these 2 teams should be evenly matched. Both are very well coached. Both are Queens teams. So, when you get 2 Queens schools together playing across the bridge, it's a little rivalry there. Like I know Holy Cross is like, they're making it known like, yo, we're going to be a player in the AA, and Forest Hills is like, yo, we're making a claim to try to get this Queens title.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So it worked out really well, but, I don't mean to jump, but I think that was a nice appetizer. Saturday is our appetizer, and it was a great one.
Yes. But before we move on to that, let's talk about Joshua Malcolm real quick.
Josh Malcolm, that's an impact transfer.
Woo-wee.
That's an impact transfer for Holy Cross.
Yeah.
He's a guard that he could do it all 3 ways, off the bounce, off the pass, and off the shot. He's tough. That's a good get.
Yeah.
That's a real good get for Holy Cross.
Shoot it steady. He don't turn the ball over, right?
and he's
He
fast.
got a
and
nice
strong,
body,
compact. Yeah,
right?
he's a nice compact guard.
Yeah,
Real good compact guard. And those are tough guys to defend, especially in our league. Like when you're a tough combo guard that can make decisions and shots, you're hard to guard. Like you're a hot commodity. You know, like he reminds me of like, gives me like some like Malik Gill vibes from Mount St. Michael back in the day, like strong, heady point guard. He could shoot it a little better than Malik, but I think he's a great piece for Holy Cross. That kid is good. He had 25. He had 25 in that game.
And he had a 25, like, stop it. You know, the Forest Hill coaches were like, we have to cut the head off the monster. We have to cut the head off of the monster. And Josh is that head, man. And speaking of Malik Gill, I'll be having his dad on soon. His dad was a Brooklyn Tech great.
Wow.
Yes. His dad
was
a
lot of history in basketball heads. Basketball heads is basketball historian heads. Like, whoa.
Listen, if you're going to have, you know, the #1 basketball show in New York City, I better know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And luckily for me, I come from an era where my arms kind of extended to all parts of the history. So, you know, and if I don't know, I'll call up the godfather of basketball heads, Coach Ray Haskins, who's the director of the PSAL, one of my mentors. So, you know, definitely, man, it's a family thing, man. So definitely want to make that happen, man. Salute to the Gill family.
Yeah, nah, shout out to them, like for real.
Now, this is what I've been talking about because, you know, when we talk about having your meal and that appetizer, right? So if you're already full from Saturday, you know, I advise you to go for a jog, fast today. Make sure you fast for basketball today. Because what's going to go down on Monday is going to be absolutely bananas. All right? If you're slightly full from Saturday, Monday is definitely going to be the must place to be. All right? This is must-see basketball what's going down for Monday. I'm just going to run down the teams, and then we'll come back and we'll do the preview, all right? We got Farrell's Academy versus Holy Cross. First game. So, you already know what we said about Holy Cross. You have to be in the building. 11 o'clock. It's going down. All right? This is a must-see right now. So, you guys, so you know what's happening. All right? Holy Cross versus Farrell Academy. Then we have LaSalle Academy versus the FLH Panthers.
And that's Fannie Lou.
Fannie Lou, right? 12:15. 1:30. Iona Prep. I saw Iona Prep play in my God's Lucky tournament up in the House of Hoops. Ooh, listen. You want to see some real good basketball, you don't want to miss this Iona Prep team. They're loaded.
Yeah.
And I know they're coming loaded. And they're going to be playing against St. Peter's Prep, New Jersey. You already know the reputation of what they have out there going on in Jersey. And C-Wll, you've done it again, man. That's a great lineup. All right? I'm going to tell you, man.
I appreciate it, man.
And then we haven't finished because we got St. Francis Prep versus HOA Academy of New Jersey. That's St. Joe's.
Yeah.
St. Joe's, right?
Yeah.
We already know how St. Francis Prep is coming. You already know. Great coaching staff, great bunch of kids, and they always going to bring something to the table. All right? And St. Joe's is definitely good, who played on Saturday. Then you have Xaverian. Oh, my. Listen, Xaverian played in the Brevoort Coliseum this summer, the Brevoort Basketball League. And let me tell you, Aaron Goldstein, right? And my guy, we call him my guy, Mr. Cologne, B23.
Oh, Big Don. That's my guy.
Let me tell you, he can handle, he can shoot that three, he can give you that body, lead. Listen, you're going to have trouble. And they have the big guy in the middle who can block shots and punch it on everybody. You know,
Mike Walker.
They have listen, they're very well coached and they're loaded. So you definitely don't want to miss that game. and that game will be happening at 4 o'clock. All right. Then you have my little guy. We're not gonna say, we're gonna name the team first because I don't want to name the player before the team. You got Archbishop Malloy. You already know how they come. Archbishop Malloy with my guy Sincere Folk at the point, Josh Powell and the crew. And they have another good player who's like, I think he's a sophomore. I think he had hurt himself. He's the goods. I remember his name, but
forgot his name, but they good.
He's the goods. And they'll be playing against the Academy of BX.
Yeah, that's Eagle Academy, yup.
Woo. Loaded. Eagle up and down, Brooklyn to the Bronx. They're very, very well coached, and they're solid. Definitely. So that's going to be a great game. Damn. Then you got Scanlon coming down, playing against Queens Rundown.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And that's Forest Hills.
And then you have the nightcap. The St. Raymond's Ravens versus South Shore Vikings.
That's it.
Enough said. You already see smoke. You already know what he coming with. All right? You already know what South Shore is coming with. And we already told y'all what St. Ray's have. And they're not telling you, right? You're going to see some more people there too. So be prepared, come through, and make sure you see what's going down. All right? So, Coach C-Wll.
Yo.
Let me know the process of how you handle this with all these teams, all these heavy hitters throughout New York City basketball. What was your aim in putting this together, and what was your motivation to get this the way it is now?
All right. My man O, Leo, Coach O, we have this thing, we call it, let's make it make sense, right? Whatever we doing. Whether if it's a freaking workout, whether if it's a convo we're having, whatever, let's make it make sense. So as I'm going through the scheduling, I'm just like, all right, I got the teams committed. Now these games have to make sense because, you know, my thing is this is the premier preseason event. We need to make sure the games, the refs, the atmosphere, the energy, everything aligns with that. So when you talk about Holy Cross and the Pharos Academy, it's given, most people say, what's Pharos Academy? What's that? Who's that? And I'm like, they were part of the NEPSAC League. So they're playing like, who is that? Like PSA, what's that? Putnam Science Academy, some of those other schools up in the NEPSAC. But they're a charter school in the Bronx. So what better way for those guys to get ready for their league than to come over to St. Ray's and get some good work? And for Holy Cross, it's another opportunity for them to get ready for the CHSA, the grueling CHSAA league. And I feel like that's a great opener. Like that's a great opening act for that slate of games. So I've been hearing about Pharos Academy. I know that this is their first year in that prep school conference. I'm excited to give those guys an opportunity and to see how they're going to look. So I'm looking forward to that as game one. And then in the second game, you talk about LaSalle and Fannie Lou. That should be a really good game. You know, like we talked about, we've seen both of them yesterday. So, you know, Fannie Lou, you know, they just got beat, you know, by double figures. I know they're coming out to, you know, with some vengeance, and LaSalle just took a loss. So, you know, one thing for sure, two things for certain, you know, you definitely need a win after you take an L, you know, so I'm looking forward to that game being really good as well. And then you go Iona Prep, my guy Steve Alvarado, Coach Reggie, those guys have been, you know, on an upward trend as well, playing well. You know, again, they've been in the gym with each other, playing in a lot of events. I feel like those guys facing St. Peter's Prep, you know, they lost their best player, St. Peter's did, to Villanova and Mark Armstrong, but they played in last year's event, did really well. Mark was one of the standout players, but I feel like that's a great game for Iona Prep to see a different face, see a different look. And then for the Jersey guys to come over and, you know, play with a shot clock. play against a good team with a shot clock, a good young nucleus that could, score from the inside, score from the outside. They have some solid guard play, guys that can make shots. So I feel like that's a great game. And then I think next we have Xavier or Zavarian.
Yep.
Yeah, versus Monroe. And, I love Coach Clyde Chapman. Like, that's my guy. Coach Dion,
Facts.
those are my brothers. Like, I really love what they're doing. I admire them. I respect them. And, I know that they got big shoes to fill, filling in after, the legendary Jack Alisi. I know that's never easy, but I know that those guys are committed to their kids and to that program. Every year they're gotten better. And it's funny you mentioned Big Don and Mike Walker. They both play with the program in the summer. The schedule is just a little bit of a conflict this year, so I didn't get many games out of either. But God bless Dave Edwards. Dave Edwards was one of Don's first coaches.
Wow, salute and rest in peace.
What I'm saying?
New York City great Dave Edwards.
So, yeah. I know Don loves Coach Dave, and I know Coach Dave put in a lot of time and energy with him. And they're one of the top front courts, in the city. And they got some good guard play. So I expect that game to be good.
Let me say this as well. Shout out to Miss Cologne, who is at every game, rooting on her son. All right, salute to you. And brother, wait till you see Aaron Goldstein.
I like him.
You seen him play?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, first game he came in 7 threes. And
he could play.
The crowd in the Coliseum fell in love with him.
He could play. And that's going to be a tough game.
Came back, made the All-Star team. Him and Dar Cologne made the All-Star team. And brother, you definitely. Oh yeah. It was definitely lit. So look, y'all in for a good one. So make sure y'all there. All right.
And that's the tough Monroe game. You know what I mean? Like Monroe's been. I keep using this term, trending. North. Like Monroe's another team trending north. Coach Mike and Coach Chris Glasses. They're doing a great job of just spending time. That's a good challenge.
Yeah.
Testing the waters.
Definitely. And salute to my guy, Malloy, future Naismith, all right? A Monroe alum and my guy. So Monroe been doing big things for sure.
Yes, sir.
Who we have after that? We got Malloy versus Eagle Academy.
Another good one. Yo, you're right. You did a pretty good job putting this slate together.
Man, I'm telling you, like, if y'all don't understand what's going on, bro. Listen to all my people out there, all my basketball heads, pay attention to the schedule. Y'all need to be in the Bronx, all right, Monday at St. Raymond's High School in the Ravens Nest and checking out this talent.
Yeah, the Monday shut down records. Monday shut down records. Like not even being funny, but it's also test the waters for real.
Yeah,
like a lot of teams is playing in a lot of things, but respectfully, I think this Monday means a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like I think this Monday, that environment, that setting, Skybox is open. Like 3 refs every game, like real basketball setting. Like, yo, go hard. Like that. You know what? That's the theme for Monday. I might need that intro. Go hard.
That's right. Definitely can slide that to you, brother. Definitely can slide that to you. Unfortunately, I won't be able to probably see the last 2 games. I will definitely catch it on Class TV. Salute to Class TV, who will be rebroadcasting this episode on their app. So make sure you download and get that Class TV app. That's so important. All right, to check this out. So we can promote this for my brother right here. And I have a big guest on Monday. So those of you, if you at the game, make sure when you get home, you check out my interview with 2-time NBA champion Mario Ellie will be in the building 8 o'clock on Monday. All right. So We want to finish off with the schedule. After Malloy and Eagle Academy, you got C-Wll, who I also saw up at my God's Lucky summer invitational showcase that he had, into the summer showcase that he had, and the Queens Rundown. Who's the Queens Rundown? Who did
that's Forest Hills.
Okay, gotcha.
Hills.
That's Forest Hills.
Definitely. That's a good game.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
I know anytime a public school, and I don't know if we went over the Eagle Malloy, but anytime you can get a public school, a AA game in the CHSAA, I don't care if it's in December, January, or if it's in August, October, it's a big game for their program.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean that respectfully. It's a big game because it's like if you're Eagle, you know, you might only have 1 or 2 real good games in your league.
They're Final 14 PSL.
Yeah,
they're Final 14.
But you really want to see how you fare up against these other teams, and a win or loss. You know what I mean? Because some losses you learn, and then some wins you're like, damn, we got a lot of work to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially in the preseason. Like in the preseason, some wins could be fool's gold.
Right.
You know what I mean? But some losses could be some real lessons. Like, yo, my man, look, we got to switch some things up. You know, so I feel like Malloy, you know, getting a chance to play against a Eagle Bronx team coached by Coach Rose, former St. Ray's coach, I think that's a good opportunity for both sides, you know, to see different
especially
styles.
for Malloy, because Malloy's a very young group. Malloy is a very young group, and they're in the rebuilding stages. But I know Eagle Academy is coming with some heavy hitters and going to look forward to repeating in the PSL playoffs, man. So definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah. And then C-Wll Forest Hills, we just talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's another good test for both sides, right?
Yes,
like,
yes.
The more I'm thinking about it, you know, you as you're putting this together, right? You know, you got certain people you call, like, yo, how does this look? How does that sound? And now that we're talking about it, like in the open, I'm like, man, like, forget the event. Like, I'm looking forward to watching some real good basketball games. You know what I mean? Some real good matchups that make sense, you know? And it's not to critique anybody or anybody's event, but some of the events, is like, even for us, when we get calls for certain events, the game has to make sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to, like, not just for St. Ray's in the tournament, or just, oh, we got Zavarian in, we got no. Now we need a good game, you know? So, like, even for us personally, us going down to Queens last week to play against Hudson Catholic, that was probably the most, like, official game we got in a loss, where I was just like, okay, cool. We walked out of there with our heads up saying, all right, we're not too far from where we are aiming to be, you know? And you get games like that, man, it's big time. It's a huge opportunity. So, you know, I'm fortunate and blessed to be able to say, you know what, some of these public school teams that won't traditionally get these games, I'm going to set it up for you in a real setting, so you can really test the waters and walk away and say, yo, did we get better today? What do we got to work on in practice or workouts on Tuesday? And that's the whole gist of this whole deal, man.
Yeah, because definitely the waters will be tested for St. Ray's and definitely South Shore for that nightcap game.
Yeah, that should be. Every time we play South Shore, it's a goodie, though. Every time, man. Every time. Like it should be a real good game. You know, with some serious talent on the floor on both sides. You know, some pretty decent coaching from both sides. And, you know, to keep it real with you, there's always that basketball rivalry, Bronx, Uptown, Brooklyn. Like, it's always that rivalry. Like, we know realistically, if we're not playing South Shore in a non-league game in the city, the only time we can see them is in states.
Right.
You know what I'm
Listen,
saying? Like,
they have a very, very good point guard. We call them the general. And some good heady players that they have with them. And also, I was telling you about my young boy, Kev Kearney, 6'7", versatile player who brings a lot to the table. And I know you guys have one of the best point guards in the city, and Mr. Turner. So, you know, Turnage. So, what do you see as far as the matchups and how you guys pair up to them?
Well, to be transparent, we finally have size. You know what I'm saying? Like we've had a ton of success without real size. You know, and humbly, that's a testament to, you know, Coach Lopez, our staff, and,
Yeah,
you
salute
know,
Coach Lopez. Yeah.
us not using that as an excuse. But now that we can match up with size, I think we can play with anybody, because we can play with anybody without it. You know what I'm saying? But now I think the tables turn a little bit. You know what I mean? And that's why it's important for us to play a South Shore, because, you know, nowadays, it's funny I say nowadays, in the last freaking 6 months, we became taller than most teams that we've played against. So sometimes it's hard for us to play two bigs on the floor at the same time, depending on who we're playing in the preseason. So us getting a chance to play against a big, tall South Shore team gives us a chance to now. We got, you know, 3 guys in our program, 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". You know what I'm saying? Like, we got wings, 6'3", 6'4". You know, like Brandon Stores, who's second team all league, he's a real guard, like all the way now. You know, last year he played some 3 and 4 for us, but this year, like, he's really a guard. He's 6'3", and in my opinion, he's probably the best sophomore in the city. You know, but playing a South Shore, you know, you're getting to get a chance to play against size and good coaching and toughness. And that's something that this is a game that should definitely get us ready for the rigors of what I call, you know, the hardest high school league in the country. You know what I mean? Like, we got to see Cardinal Hayes twice. We got to see Stepanek twice. We got to see Iona Prep twice. We got to see Mount St. Michael twice. Like, we got to see Scanlon twice. Those ain't no easy games.
Every night's a dog fight.
Every night's a dog fight, man. Every night's a dog fight. And then, you know, when you cross over to see a Christ the King, a Lachlan, a Zavarian, you only see them once. Those 1 wins matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no cupcakes. There's no like, we know we're going to win these 2 games right here. Like, nah. Every day we got to be ready to play. And that's why, you know, like, test the waters, especially for the Catholic League teams. You know, we need these public schools to really give us a run for our money. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need that, like, bad. Like, that's very important. Not just St. Ray's, but Iona. Like, guess what? They got to get ready for the same brutal schedule. You know, Zavarian, the same thing. So instead of us beating up on each other in the preseason, it's like, yo, we need somebody to, like, beat us up a little bit. You know, like, some schools, they prefer to protect their preseason rankings. We don't believe in preseason rankings. We need some preseason reality. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's real. That's real.
We need to know where we at, for real. Forget all that other stuff. And, you know, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But it's testing the waters, baby. That's it.
Look, if any of you guys or girls out there ever took a ice bath, right? Until you get used to it, jump right in. But if you haven't been used to it, right, you got to test the waters first. You got to dip your feet in and jump back out in, right?
Yeah.
You got to test first to see where you stand and how much your body can. Preseason invitational, what it does is to see where you at, because it's a long season. And if you haven't tested the waters in the beginning, you're going to have a rough one.
Yeah, no, you're going to have a rough one, man. And I'm expecting, you know, we're expecting some good games, man. Like, if you're a basketball head, if you're a fan of this show, you're a fan of basketball, like I think you know you belong on Monday. And shoot, the best gambler can't pick the results of these games.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Just know you're going to get a good game every game. All right. And then you playing in one of the best facilities in the city. You're going to be treated with class, and we expect that you come in class and, do what you do and let the kids play and have some fun. But one thing I also want to add, my man who you had on the mic, Nas, he did
Nas, yes.
He did an awesome job, and he brought an air of professionalism that I think is needed for games like this. All right. So when kids who are at these college games at the Barclays Center or the Garden, they know what it feels like, right? So we want to separate some of the things that go on in the summer compared to what goes on in the school atmosphere. And having him call the game and just be a professional announcer and the way he goes about doing it, I think he did an awesome job.
No, he's a special talent, man. He's a real special talent, and he sticks to his guns. Like he knows he's not a summer guy. You know what I mean? He knows he's not a on-court announcer. He's the voice of New York City Catholic high school basketball. Like, you're gonna realize it now. Like, he does the CHSA championship games, he does the playoff games, he does the Archdiocese games. And a big reason why, our events are a little more special, right, is because you have somebody like that on the call in the game, which adds that you can't duplicate that. Some announcers you can duplicate. Hey, let me get you to run up and down the court and just get the game hype. Nah, it's like a real basketball vibe. And that's what you get when you walk into the Ravens nest. You know what I mean? So we didn't have a huge crowd on Saturday, but he still worked it as if we had a huge crowd. That's the professionalism. You know what I mean? He didn't go, oh, man, we only got 50 people in here, I'm not going to be me. No, he's going to bring it. And now look, the impression that he left on you, your first time in there. You walk away
for sure.
Who's this?
And look, here's the crazy part, right? With me having this show, I get a lot of DMs and people reaching out to me, and I love the support. And I'm gonna say I'm very humble. My brother will tell you I'm not one that walk around with a big head and feel like it's all about me. This is a platform that I created for the city and about the city. But he had hit me up a few times and sent me some DMs of him calling the game in the Barclays Center. And then he hit me up again yesterday. I was checking my team. He was like, yo, it's good seeing you yesterday, my brother. And look, this is how we are in New York City, right? So we got to break this. And I'm speaking to everyone because I had to break out of this. But when we see each other, it's okay to come up and say what's up. It's okay to come up because I'm not that dude. I'm not that dude who feels himself. And for me having a show, it took me a while to walk up to dudes and say, look, I know what you did for New York City. I'm glad with the thing that you have accomplished, whether you're a referee, coach, a director of an AAU program, grassroots program, whatever you do, it's my job, and it's our job to kind of encourage each other so the kids will see that, right? Because sometimes when kids, they just so in competitive mode that we don't show each other love. And I understand why they're on the court. Off the court, we got to keep that brotherhood, that sisterhood tight. So if any of you guys or girls, you ever see me in the streets or anywhere, please come up and say what's up, and I would love to greet you. So Nas, when I see you again, because I didn't recognize that was you until you hit me up again, I told you, I'm going to make sure I speak to you. And then since you do such a great job, bring you on the show to let kids know that there's other things that they can do besides play basketball. There's other jobs in basketball that you can have, and you can have it for a very long time.
Yep. That's
no doubt. Fact. No doubt. So, brother, look, we talked about Saturday's event. We talked about what you got planned for Monday. And look, I'm looking forward to coming up there very early because there's a piece that I want to do on St. Ray's, just in general. So I'm going to come there early, get
come
some
up, man.
film,
We can ride
and
up there
take me
together,
around,
man.
right? Take me around to the facility. So I want to do a nice piece on St. Raymond's High School and the rich tradition that you guys have going on then. All right. So last question before you get out of here. And I want to know from you, my brother, do you feel the city is heading in the right direction to reclaiming the state as the Mecca, or it never got from us? What do you think? Do you think it's something that we have to recapture again?
I don't think you have to recapture it because the Mecca is the Mecca, right?
Right.
The Mecca is the origin. Like 30, 40, 50 years ago, some of these other states that was just known for football or, freaking country music, now they're producing players at a rapid rate. But I don't think we've ever lost the Mecca. What I think is going on is I think we're starting to pay more attention to our city and our kids. And we're realizing, the guys that we think is that good out of town, they're not that much better than us. You know what I mean? Like
let it be known, Coach. Let it be known.
But there is a catch to that. We need more real basketball coaches that's young. Like to help guide these guys. Like not just guys to be like, yo, let me get down with this kid. That's my man from my block. Let me take him around to every AAU program and drive him to his games or put him in these tournaments. We need more young men that are really like, I really want to coach and develop the next generation and really understands that shit don't happen overnight. Excuse my language. That stuff don't happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at Smoke, you looking at myself, like any success or, whatever we've accomplished in this game, that stuff ain't come overnight or in year one or with our first player or with our first team. Like, so the kids are there, right? The stable is there. Like the farm is there. We need the farmers, the coaches to really raise that, like really get in that mud and really raise it. And, it takes time, but it takes a want to. Because the question is like we got talent, man. Like I'm watching, like McClancy has a Division I player. Brooklyn Law and Tech has a Division I player. You know what I'm saying? Those aren't the sexiest schools in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like Eagle Bronx is a legitimate high school program. Monroe is a legitimate public school, high school program. Like Scanlon's good. St. Ray's is good. There's talent everywhere. John Bound, Forest Hills, there's talent everywhere. South Bronx Prep, there's talent. The problem is there's an overflow of talent now. And, you think about it, the guys that was coaching back in the day, even if you use a Artie and a Kenny P, dude was coaching 4 or 5 teams. And it wasn't all McDonald's All-Americans.
Facts.
But they were coaching like, I got to coach this team. I got to coach my neighborhood team. Then I got to coach this team. And then I'm going to go coach these elite guys. But guys really was coaching. And I think that's the question that really needs to get addressed. Like, and I'm not saying I'm the best. You know what I mean? But when people are like, New York City don't have players, we ain't the same. We're not the same because where the coaches at? Like, you watch the Point Guard documentary, every single one of those dudes had a legendary coach.
Facts. Facts.
Like,
Facts.
dudes just forgetting that part. Like, which one of them had a whack coach, like a dude that couldn't coach and run a practice? All them dudes had legendary coaches.
That's true.
That was what made New York City. New York City. We had some serious basketball minds, some serious basketball coaches that could take a kid from Brevard from Washington houses, from Patterson houses, pissy staircases. Take that kid to a North Carolina, to a Duke, to a UCLA. Like, these dudes wasn't doing it on their own. You know what I mean? That's the area I think we really need to address. The kids is there. Like, the talent is there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Brandon Will is just committed. Will is just committed to freaking UCLA. Queens kid. UCLA. Like, Malachi Smith from Prospect Avenue. The kid is at Dayton. Like,
a Brevard, another Brevard kid. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right, babe. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Look,
But
been a
for
year,
real,
right?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. Like, the talent is here. Kids is here, man. You know, but it might take a little extra work because they got some other challenges, but it's here, man. So, shout out to the guys that do it full time, that's really committed to, developing our kids. And, it's one thing I'm happy about, even with Test the Waters. I'm seeing so many of these programs like really investing in their kids. It's going to pay off. You know what I'm saying? It's going to pay off.
That's right. Y'all see the banner on the bottom, Test the Waters Invitational Preseason Showcase. All right. I want to give a big shout out to Raphael Farley for coming through. My guy, Corey Weiss, GF Abbey for coming through. I appreciate you, brother. My guy, Ballhead, my brother for life. Just thank you for coming through and stopping by the show, and many others who stopped by Basketball Heads Live to check out my guy, Chris C-Wll Williams, the brainchild behind, or the brains, all right? He's a grown man now. The brains behind the Test the Waters Invitational Preseason Showcase, one of the top premier showcases in New York City. So make sure you guys are there, girls, children, everybody there. Monday starts at 11 o'clock, and the last game is at 7 o'clock. So make sure you're there at St. Raymond's High School, all right, in the Bronx.
And if you can't make it out, make sure you tune in to Clash TV. We're getting ready to have a real special fall with Clash TV. If anybody's interested, you can reach out to Basketball Heads. You can reach out to me. But Clash TV, the app, download that and get with it. You can watch all the games. So if you got to run out, guess what? You ain't going to miss none of the action. We got 7-8 games. Good games.
Facts.
But Glenn, I appreciate you though, man, for having me
on.
Getting this going with Test the Waters. I know I'll see you tomorrow. Let's get together and let's make it a great day. And that skybox is open for you, man. I'm telling you.
Definitely gonna be there. Chris Gotti, now you know you putting the face together. The guy who ran up on you a couple of times, told you to come down to Brevard. This is what it is. Salute to Clash TV. And my guy also, who's my guy who I was talking to earlier, Chris? What's the name?
My man Max. Yeah, my man
Max. We appreciate it, brother.
Yep.
Thank you. All right. Hit him up now, and we'll take some paperwork so we can make sure that this airs on Clash TV. So and it's for my guy, Chris C-Wll Williams. Thank you, brother, for coming on the show, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. Peace out. Basketball Heads. All right.
Fisher. This is what it is, people. This is what the brotherhood of New York City looks like. All right? Those are the connections that are made from years ago. And you never know when one of your friends gonna need a helping hand, or even me when I ask for a favor. What I do is pick up my phone and just dial a number, and it can happen like that, right? For C-Wll, if I need a player that needs to play on the big stage, he's there. If we need a player to get a recommendation, he's there. If I need a kid to get worked out and some extra drills, he's there. So when it comes down to looking out for each other, we have to keep this brotherhood tight because we all we got. All right? And for you people that to know what's going down at St. Raymond's tomorrow, we have the Test the Waters Invitational, right? Some of the best high school talent in the city. So make sure that you come out and support the whole St. Raymond staff and my guy C-Wll for putting this whole thing together. And we're going to keep it just like that. Make sure you support and subscribe to the channel. Basketball Heads. NYC Basketball Network. Y'all see what it is. We are the official home for New York City basketball. Let me show y'all. Peace.